and gentlemen, you're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
An absolutely gorgeous Sunday afternoon here in Toronto. The roof is open at Rogers Center. They're filing in for the rubber game of this three-game set as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Toronto Blue Jays in the third game of three from Rogers Center in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball along with John Flaherty. I'm Michael Kay. Well, the Yankees didn't look good early. They were down 6-1, and it looked like they were going to lose that game. Bartolo Colon didn't pitch well, but they came back. Big home runs, big pitching, and a record-setting performance by Mariano Rivera.
You know, a lot of good stories yesterday. I think it all started with Alex Rodriguez returning after about a week of not playing baseball, and he looked great yesterday. Got a base hit his first at-bat. Hits a three-run shot to left field. Actually got the Yankees back in this ball game, but it was Curtis Granderson who's been slumping lately. His 40th home run of the year on a 12-pitch at-bat gave the Yankees the lead, and the Mariano Rivera comes trotting out of that bullpen, picks up save number 601, ties Trevor Hoffman for first place all time, a possibility to take the lead this afternoon.
Now, Mariano got all the accolades in the save, but take a look at what the bullpen did yesterday. Proctor, Lafayette got the win. Noesi, Soriano, and Rivera combined 5 innings, 1 base runner, 1, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. They were outstanding. That allowed the Yankees to come back. Now, let's take a look at today's New York Lottery pitching matchup. For the Toronto Blue Jays, Brandon Morrow gets to start, 9-11, 5.23. And for the Yankees, Freddie Garcia, 11-7, 3.71. John, last time out, Freddie Garcia did not pitch well against the Angels.
You know, it's actually his last 2 times out, Michael. He's been struggling a little bit lately. And Freddie Garcia has done a great job all year keeping the baseball in the yard. He did not do that against the Angels. A home run to right center field, and then the split finger pitch, which has been so good for him, kind of rolls in there. It ends up in the left field seats. 2 home runs that afternoon. But really, it's a split finger fastball. When he has a good one, he's going to get a lot of swings and misses. That's what the Yankees are looking for this afternoon, a little rebound start from Freddie Garcia.
And if they get a win, they're 5-5 on this road trip. And if they can turn a lead over to Mo, he could have the most saves in baseball history. That's later. But right now, lineups, first pitch, baseball on Yes. Of New York. When it comes to fighting cancer, precision is everything. And by Avis, the official rental car of the New York Yankees. Well, the Yankees won, so they creep closer to clinching a playoff spot. So why don't we take a look at the standings? And it's brought to you by Delta. Keep climbing. The Red Sox lost again to the Rays, so they lost 2 out of 3. The finale of that 4-game set is today. So the Red Sox are 5 games back in the loss column to the Yankees. And the Rays are within 3 of the Red Sox. They can cut it to 2 with a win today. Speaking of today, the Blue Jays have taken the field. Brandon Morrow is on the mound, and we're going to take a look at the Yankees starting lineup presented by Lexus. And Joe Girardi, you will see, has rested a lot of his regulars. Yankees coming at 91-59. They'll lead off their center fielder Brett Gardner. Eduardo Nunez in second will bat second. Batting third and DHing is Robinson Cano. Alex Rodriguez, the third baseman, cleans up. Batting fifth, playing right field, Nick Swisher. Eric Chavez at first base will bat sixth. Batting seventh and catching, Russell Martin. Chris Dickerson is in left field. He's going to bat eighth. Batting ninth and playing shortstop, Ramiro Pena. So no Jeter, no Granderson, no Teixeira.
Well, that lineup's going to face Brandon Morrow, hard-throwing right-hander for the Toronto Blue Jays, and we'll take a look at his numbers on the year. 9-11, an ERA over 5. 179 strikeouts and 158 the third inning, so he is a strikeout pitcher. We'll look at the G pitcher scouting report. He's limping to the finish right now. He has lost 6 of his last 7 decisions, and he's lost 3 straight. But he seems to save his best stuff for the Bombers. 68 strikeouts in 56 innings against the Yankees. Pitch count is always a problem for him. He averages 17.6 pitches per inning. The Yankees are going to try to elevate that pitch count early.
So this is the rubber game of the 3-game set, and it will decide whether or not the Yankees could look at this as a decent road trip at 5-5. So 4-5 at this point. They need a victory to go home 500 and get that big stretch off the calendar. Brett Gardner will start it off for the Yankees. He's playing center field today. Yesterday picked up a couple of hits. So Gardner's ready. Morrow is ready. And let's do it here in Toronto. And the first pitch is outside. We are underway.
Brett had a good afternoon yesterday. A couple of hits, hitting the ball the other way. Gets an opportunity to lead off this afternoon. Derek Jeter, a day off.
And a strike. Dan Iasonia is an outstanding voice behind the plate. Another strike. Why don't we take a look at all the umps? Here's Dan Iasonia. Dale Scott, the crew chief, is at first. Jerry Meals is at second. And C.B. Buckner is over at third. You know, back when I grew up, they used to call the umpires the men in blue, and they don't wear blue that much anymore. They usually have that black top and the gray slacks, but today, shirt sleeves, they've got the blue on, and they are the men in blue on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. And the 2-2. Slapped to short. Right there is McCoy. And there's McCoy. Why don't we take a look at the Blue Jays defense, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. Well, since we've already met McCoy at short, we'll start with the infield. Laurie's at third, Johnson's at second, Encarnacion at first, and McCoy at short. In the outfield, it's Thames, Rasmus, and Bautista left to right. Aaron Sivia behind the plate. Brendan Morrow is on the mound. Here's Eduardo Nunez. He has not had a good road trip, 1 for 12, and he's 4 for his last 41. His average has tumbled to 254, and there's a strike. No matter what numbers that Nunez ends up with, he has been of great value to the Yankees. He was the guy essentially who filled in for Derek Jeter when Jeter was out with the quad injury, and he's the guy who filled in for Alex Rodriguez at third, and the Yankees really didn't miss that much of a beat, so he did a good job.
He's had a solid year no matter how it ends up, and the 19 stolen bases, a threat on the base paths. Tough assignment this afternoon against Morrow, a big-time strikeout pitcher. We've already seen the combination of Brett Gardner, a power fastball, big curveball. Nunez behind in the count, 0-2.
And the 0-2. And that got a piece of Iasonia.
See Aaron Sivia making sure that he's okay. This one gets him square in the mask, it looked like. Side of the mask. You know, Michael, my first thought when I saw that when I was living down in Tampa, Florida, a lot of the umpires have big-time neck problems. You know, same as catchers when wearing that mask and all the foul balls. Looks like he's okay.
Poor Johnny.
See the numbers from Morrow and the strikeouts against the Yankees. Pretty good company there with Pedro Martinez.
Your neck bother you, John?
You know, I had a herniated disc in my neck when I was with Tampa and have to rehab it every offseason and keep everything strong behind the shoulders.
Slow roller to short could be a very tough play. McCoy fires, but not at the time. Nunez picks up an infield single. Today's closed captioning brought to you by Verizon Wireless.
Too much speed for Nunez right there off the end of the bat. A good slider from Morrow. McCoy comes in and really did not have a play. Nunez passed first base easily. And when you have to lean out across the plate, you actually get out of the box a little bit better. It's a field base hit.
Here's Robinson Cano. You saw Robinson before he steps in to the batter's box, his first at bat, he taps the shin guards of the catcher and also the umpire. And on today's Joe Girardi show, after the game and after the post game, I asked Joe, did he like that as a catcher? He said, I hated it. He said sometimes I would kick my foot out because I didn't want them touching the shin guard. But a couple of the Yankees do it. Derek does it, and Cano does it. John, knowing you, I think I know you well. I don't think that you would like it.
I didn't like it, but to tell you the truth, it depended on the player who came up to the plate.
Right.
You know, Derek Jeter, I think everybody around baseball respects him. So when he did it, it wasn't that big of a deal. But obviously there were some other personalities that you didn't get along with, and it would bother you. Well, that started a big brawl, wasn't it? Was it this year or last year with the Molina brother, Yadier, catches for the Cardinals?
Right.
And there was a player for the Brewers, I think it was, came up and tapped him. Didn't like it and started a brawl right away. Beginning of the game.
There's a strike.
Nunez getting a pretty good lead over there. Looks like he's trying to time Morrow in his delivery. Aaron Sibia known more as an offensive catcher. Nunez with those 19 stolen bases, an opportunity to run.
Let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. In a word, it's gorgeous, but we'll give you some numbers to back that up. 64 degrees, 60% humidity, 9 miles per hour is the wind, and it's a sunny day. Two and two.
With that weather report, we got a good look at the high sky, Michael. Pop-ups will be an issue today. The roof is open. That is a high sky, not easy for pop-ups. See if it'll be a factor this afternoon.
Nunez with good speed. He's at first. One man out, 2-2 count. And Cano's worked the count full.
3-2.
Morrow tough to get a jump off of, actually pretty quick down the hill. Expect Nunez to be running here with a full count. Not a ground ball pitcher, does not have any double play groundouts in 131 opportunities, more of a strikeout guy.
They expect Nunez to go on 3-2, so they throw over. Pitch is high, so a walk to Cano. So the Yankees will rally here in the first inning, first and second with one man out. And that'll bring up Alex Rodriguez. Alex with a big 3-run home run in yesterday's game. That got the Yankees right back into it, a game they were trailing 6-1, and it came in the 6th inning.
The Blue Jays tried to pitch him in all afternoon. They made Alvarez pay for it, a 3-run shot, a line drive. Instead, Michael got the Yankees right back in the game.
Runners go. They throw through to second, and Cano is out. Nunez had a great jump, and Cano, I think, took off because he saw Nunez going.
Yeah, nice smart play by Aaron Sibia behind the plate. Johnson covering second. It's an easier play. You see it in front of you if you're a catcher. Nunez got a great jump, so he decides to go to second base. But Robinson Cano was kind of lagging behind a little bit, making sure Nunez was stealing. Nice play.
That goes banging around. Doesn't look like it hit anybody. Thank goodness.
Alex going for a new piece of lumber. Fan will get an Alex Rodriguez bat. Looked like nobody got hurt.
Kim Jones brought up a good point just now. I wonder how many bats Alex had that little taping job because it doesn't look like there's tape on that. Maybe it's black tape. There it is. Well, now that he's got this bat in use, I guess somebody's taping up another one or another couple. There it is right there.
Well, obviously it worked yesterday. Alex really swung the bat well. Didn't have any problems coming back in the day after day game. We talked about this yesterday, Michael. I mean, it is hard for a major league player to go at least a week without seeing live pitching and be able to step right back in like Alex did yesterday and be productive.
Laced into right center field, but a good jump by Bautista who runs it down, and that will do it. No runs in hit, no errors, one man left. Yankees nothing, and the Blue Jays coming to bat. McCoy, the shortstop, leads off. Batting second and playing left field, Eric Thames. Jose Bautista in right field will hit third. Cleaning up, DH Adam Lynn, Edwin Encarnacion at first will bat fifth. Batting sixth and playing second base, Kelly Johnson. Brett Laurie, the third baseman, will bat seventh. The number 8 hitter is the center fielder Colby Erasmus. And JP Arancibia will catch in bat ninth.
Well, manager John Farrell sends that lineup out to face the veteran right-hander Freddie Garcia for the New York Yankees. We'll look at his numbers on the season. ERA, a very impressive 3.71. 89 strikeouts and 136 innings. We'll look at our Jeep pitcher scouting report. Garcia coming off back-to-back outings where he has struggled, and the Yankees looking for a little bullpen relief. The starters in this series have not gone deep, but he's 54 and 23 in day games in his career. So good news for Freddie. Beautiful day here in Toronto.
And McCoy takes a pitch outside. That one also outside, 2-0. Well, we can really hear Dan Iasone, so he doesn't just call a ball, he tells you that it's outside. He says it with authority. And that one's hit with authority, went right to Payne and one away. So Derek Jeter getting the day off. Nothing physically wrong with Jeter, Granderson, or with Teixeira. In fact, with Jeter and Granderson, the reason that they got the day off, Joe wanted to give them the day off anyway. They don't have good numbers against Morrow. Eric Thames takes a strike.
That's one thing we've seen with Joe Girardi. He's very disciplined that he is going to give his guys some days off, even coming down the stretch here. American League East still up for grabs. Day game tomorrow after traveling back home tonight.
Now, all they do is they get off the road. The schedule doesn't get any easier. They have 8 games in 7 days at home. Day-night doubleheader on Wednesday. Now, on the original schedule, when it came out during the offseason, Monday was an off day and Thursday was an off day. And that time of the year, you really appreciate those off days. But not off days anymore. Tapped right back to Garcia. He bare hands. 2 away. Why don't we take a look at the Yankee defense brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. In the outfield, it's Dickerson, Gardner, and Swisher left to right. Infield, A-Rod, Pena, Nunez, and Chavez. That's third to first. 3 names ending in a Z. I wonder if that's a record. Martin behind the plate. Garcia is on the mound.
You know, Michael, about these off days, that what I liked about it, I took the late bus today, and I know you got here really early to do some research, and I thank you for that. But I went on the late bus this morning. And Derek was on the late bus. You never see him on the late bus. Mark Teixeira, Curtis Granderson. This tells me Joe Girardi communicated, hey, you guys are going to have a day off. Sleep in a little bit. Don't do anything baseball-wise to get ready for the game. Always appreciated that as a player when the manager would tell you the night before, you have a day and enjoy it and relax.
And it made sense because I told you that Jeter and Granderson have slumped against Morrow. Pena is 4 for 7. Nunez is now 4 for 10 against Morrow. So you rest the guys that don't have good numbers and you put guys in that do have good numbers.
Yeah, I appreciate you getting here early too, Michael, on the first bus. You're doing a great job of preparing for us.
I just couldn't sleep, John, so I figured I should be here soaking it all in.
I was giving you too much credit.
Yes. There's a ground ball at first. Chavez is there. He'll take it himself. And a 1-2-3 inning here in the first. So the Blue Jays go down in order. We've played one. There's no score on Yes. HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes. So Garcia with a strong first inning retires the Blue Jays in order. We go to the second, and it's Swisher, Chavez, and Martin against Morrow. Now, I researched that that story that you brought up, John, about the fight with Yadier Molina. It was Brandon Phillips. And Phillips had said how he hated the Cardinals. And then he tried to be friendly with Yadier Molina, and Molina didn't want anything to do with it, and that started the brawl.
So I was mistaken. It was the Cincinnati Reds, not the Brewers.
Right.
See, that was that research you did on the first bus when you got here.
Yep. The 1-0. 2-0. And we talk about tapping the shin guards, and if you saw the Jeter special on HBO, and they had Jeter mic'd up, when he comes to the plate at the beginning of the game, he always says to the catcher, "Take it easy on me today, guys." So I guess that's his thing. Did you say anything to the catcher, John?
It depended if I knew him or had a friendship with him. I really did not talk a lot during the games at all with hitters that came to the plate, or when I came to the plate and the catcher was behind it.
You saved it for your second career, all the talk.
I saved it for my pitching staff during the games.
The 2-2. Driven deep to left field. Backing up his Thames. He's there, and he'll make the play. A step away from the warning track for the first out.
There are some outs that you can feel good about. You see Nick shaking his head a little bit, but I'll tell you what, that was one of the best swings he's taken in a while. Driving the ball the other way, right in front of the track, and a pitch that's up, out, over. A good sign for Nick Swisher. Maybe have a good homestand coming up. Good swing.
Well, here's Chavez playing first base today with Teixeira off, and the first pitch is a strike. Now, the Red Sox lost yesterday to the Rays, and I really do wonder if Joe Girardi would have played the same lineup without the 3 stars in it, if the Red Sox had won that game. But, what you said, John, makes me think that he might have, because those guys had to know that they weren't playing. That's why they were on the late bus.
Well, you never know. Yeah, in this world of cell phones, texts, and all that stuff.
Right.
Maybe sent a text last night. But I think the big thing is communication where, sleep in, don't even think about tomorrow's game. Major League players, after one game is over, they're already thinking about the next day. You go out to dinner, have a nice dinner with a couple of teammates, throw that credit card down there, and don't worry about the next day.
Count 2-2. Strike 3. Chavez.
Brandon Morrow definitely saves his best stuff for the Yankees. Just a perfectly located fastball down and away. Nothing Eric could do with it. And you wonder why his ERA is up over 5. Every time the Yankees face him, he seems to have great stuff.
Here's Russell Martin. Martin's struggling a bit. He's 0 for his last 12. He had punched the average up to about 250. Now he's down to 234. He's had a good season for the Yanks, though. He stayed healthy, which is the problem that he had with the Dodgers the last couple of years. That one's chopped over the mound. And miscommunication between Johnson and McCoy. We'll see where they score it. Should be a base hit. And it is.
Well, naturally, you think the easier play will be for the shortstop McCoy cutting across the field, his momentum going towards first base. But you would have liked somebody to be a little bit more aggressive calling that play. Johnson goes for the backhand, can't come up with a clean, and Russell Martin picks up an infield base hit.
Here's Chris Dickerson. And a strike. Dickerson, 11 hits and 33 at-bats for the Yankees this year. He's bounced between New York and Scranton Wilkes-Barre.
His first home run as a Yankee on this road trip.
Fouled that off twice. Second time on the backswing. In the count, 1-2. You wonder when the Yankees make out their postseason roster, does Dickerson have a chance to make it? Because Nick Swisher's arm is obviously compromised out in right field. Dickerson could be a late inning defensive replacement. As he swings and misses, he's down on his legs. And that'll do it for the Yankees in the second. No runs a hit, 1 man left. Go to the bottom of the second. There's no score. The question is, who do you think should win the National League Cy Young Award? You can text your vote to 58772. Standard text messaging rates apply. Here are your choices. Would it be Halladay? How about Ian Kennedy? Clayton Kershaw has great numbers. Craig Kimbrell, who also is a rookie, and Cliff Lee of the Phillies. I'll tell you what, Ian Kennedy, that performance is off the charts. John, in the time that you saw Ian pitching for the Yankees, did you ever see that in him?
No way. I mean, you know, you think of somebody who's going to, what, has he got 19 wins now? I don't even have got 20. He didn't look like a 20-game winner with that type of stuff. More of a finesse guy. 3 good pitches, nothing really outstanding. He's having a big year.
The 0-1.
It's a nice story all the way around, huh? The Arizona Diamondbacks.
Unbelievable. I mean, it's a great turnaround, and a lot of their players just got better. They also improved their bullpen quite a bit. They signed J.J. Putz, which was important. And they traded Mark Reynolds, so they cut down on some of the strikeouts. Later on, they traded Kelly Johnson. They've done a good job, and Kirk Gibson probably going to be the manager of the year.
Yeah. Do you think he should get a lot of the credit for the the turnaround? I know I played with Kirk in Detroit. Always expected teammates to go out there and find a way to win.
Adam Lind hits one deep to right field, backing up Swisher on the track at the wall. See ya. A home run, Adam Lind. It's 1-0 Toronto.
th home run of the year for Adam Lind. And I think it came on a split finger fastball, and that pitch has been money in the bank all year long for Freddie Garcia, but not this one. It kind of tumbles. It's moving down, but it doesn't have that sharp bite on it. And Adam Lind with the Coors Light cold hard blast put this ball up in the air, and it just kept traveling, kept carrying.
Pitch to Encarnacion is outside. That breaks a streak of 33 innings without a home run for Toronto. Grounded foul. And in answer to your question, John, I think he deserves the lion's share of the credit, because not much changed other than, he took over at the end of last year, but he's changed the philosophy of the team. They can't not play hard for a guy who made a living playing hard. And they also have veteran coaches. I mean, Don Baylor and Alan Trammell they brought in. Big name, big time winners.
Matt Williams.
Matt Williams as well.
And I haven't seen a lot of the Arizona Diamondbacks, but the Kirk Gibson that I knew and I know is a very intense leader. But they say he's mellowed out a little bit out there, kind of instilling a winning attitude, but a mellow influence.
I just can't picture him being that mellow.
I'm the same way.
So the Lind home run against Garcia gives the Blue Jays a 1-0 lead. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Thank you for joining us on this Sunday afternoon. Fouled away.
You know, Michael, the home runs now against Freddie Garcia is starting to become a little bit of an issue. He gave up 2 home runs in 2 2/3 innings against Baltimore, and 2 home runs his last outing, and over 5 innings against the Angels. And now Adam Lind, a big smile on his face, 25th home run of the year. Freddie has done such a great job keeping the ball in the ballpark all year long. Not lately.
Two. 3-2. Yankees have 2 hits already and been able to push across a run. The only hit for Toronto, Adam Lind's home run. And the pitch is high, so Encarnacion works a walk. Give you some stats on your Cy Young text poll voting. Clayton Kershaw 19-5, great ERA. Ian Kennedy 19-4, under 3 ERA. Halladay 18-5, 2.34. Lee 16-7, 2.38. And Kimbrel 45 saves with a 1.71. Now the interesting thing is when you talk about MVP, you always say, well, an MVP should be from a winning team. It doesn't matter if you're on a bad team. Who had the best year as a pitcher? So I don't think Kershaw has any strike against him because the Dodgers have struggled for most of the year, although they've had a pretty good second half. Pitches outside. A lot of people are really impressed by the job that Don Mattingly's done. He's kept that team together, all the things going on off the field with the ownership and the bankruptcy proceedings, and he's done a good job. They have an over 500 record in the second half of the season. The 1-1. Runner goes, throw to second. Got him. Great throw by Russell Martin. And Pena applies the tag.
You watch this throw from Russell Martin. You see the jump Encarnacion gets. He peeks inside to see where the pitch was, and it's a perfect throw right on the bag. Russell Martin very deliberate here. Kind of nice, under control, getting rid of it, and a perfect throw. Can't do it any better than that.
2-1. 3-1. The 3-1. Hammered to right field and foul. Kelly Johnson gave it a ride. Couldn't keep it straight. 3-2. Hammered foul.
There's that split again, and it's just kind of rolling in there. Doesn't have that good darting action to it. Doesn't look real sharp. See if Freddie can figure it out during the ball game, make some adjustments. Good look at the grip. Kind of just rolling down middle of the plate.
And he walks Kelly Johnson. Well, the one thing that you fear with Garcia is his command has to be perfect because his stuff isn't good enough to make a location mistake. His splitter has to really drop, and all of his pitches have to be on the corner, and he has to keep them off balance. John, he can't put pitches over the plate. His stuff doesn't They don't have enough electricity.
No, and you know, the first thing that you would say is he's got to pitch ahead in the count, throw strikes early, and I don't necessarily agree with that because he can pitch backward a little bit. I mean, he can get behind 2-0 and drop a breaking ball in there for a strike or a split for a strike. But what's concerning for me is you're not seeing those swings and misses his last couple of starts that we've seen the whole year. Stuff just not as crisp as it was early on. You know, and every starter this time of year being evaluated for a possibility of a postseason start. I'm sure Freddie's experience in the postseason will come into play, but you want to see the stuff get a little better.
Swing and a miss. Count 0-2 to Brett Lawrie. Johnson leads off first. Swing and a miss. Went off speed. Brett Lawrie very anxious. Swings and misses 2 away.
Yeah, this is more like it. This is what we're used to seeing from Freddie. Down and away off the plate. Swing and a miss on what looked like a split finger.
Here's Colby Rasmus. Those are the numbers with the Cardinals and the Blue Jays. Yesterday, Rasmus had 2 hits and 4 at-bats. Came into the game 0 for his last 19. And there's a strike. Swing and a miss. Count 0-2.
Interestingly enough, pitching out of the stretch, it looks like Freddie Garcia has found a little something with that split finger. Last 3 or 4 have been outstanding.
Bounce that one up there. 1-2. Rasmus didn't offer at it. Rasmus with the 2 big hits yesterday, a great running catch in right center. And the Blue Jays are expecting big things from this guy. They think he can be a star. They got him at a low point. Cardinals had kind of given up, kind of disgusted with him. But a highly thought of prospect. Runner goes. Pitch is high. Throw to second. Not in time. Stolen base for Kelly Johnson.
Throw was high and up the line a little bit. Johnson a decent jump. Russell Martin just a little bit high. Looked like Pena put a pretty good job of applying the tag. Does not get the call.
Maybe he should have.
Jerry Meals, second base umpire.
He's out. Two. Still 2-2. One 0 Toronto over the Yanks on the home run by Lind. We're in the bottom of the second inning. That's the resume on Rasmus. He's from Georgia. First round pick by the Cardinals in 2005. Russell Martin didn't like what he was seeing from Garcia, so he goes out and talks things over.
Last 2 swings from Rasmus pretty much all over everything Freddie's throwing.
Take the Yankees with you when you travel out of the Yankees home territory. How do you do it? Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see Yankees games live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit Yankees.com to order. Get more details. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere. 2-2. Foul back. Johnson's at second with 2 outs, 2-2 count. And the pitch. It's a tie. Throws his fastball at 87 miles an hour. But he can get by with that because it's such a great change in speed when he goes to his other pitches.
Yeah, I like the fact that he threw a fastball right there just to get Rasmus off of his split finger. He'd thrown a couple in a row. See if he comes back with it here.
This is the rubber game of this 3-game set. The Yankees are 13-5 this year in rubber games and 3-0 against Toronto. Check that, 2-0 against Toronto. And they're also 32-17 in series finales. Popped up. Alex Rodriguez will make the play, and that'll do it. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We played 2 at Rogers Center. It's 1-0 Blue Jays. Center, and it's 1-0 Toronto. We'll get Ramiro Pena, Brett Gardner, and Eduardo Nunez 9-1-2 in the Yankee order. Pena's not had a good year at the big league level. 2 for 27. He had an emergency appendectomy on his birthday, an awful present. So he has not had the season he had last year. On the Lincoln scoreboard, it's Blue Jays 1, Yankees 0. Popped up. Laurie near the seats, and he runs out of room. Tough spot for Pena. He's not played at all in the last 7 games. And now you come in and face a pretty good pitcher, Brandon Morrow, and they want you to get hits. 1-1.
Well, obviously, nobody feels sorry for you here at the big league level. If you're Pena, you got to go out there and get the job done. But always as a backup, you always paid attention to the draw that you got, the pitcher that you had to face. And this is considered a tough draw. Morrow has outstanding stuff.
The 1-2. And the pitch. Hanging in there, but pounding his foot with foul balls. That's the second time.
A couple of times this at bat. So you go with the high socks, trying to change it up a little bit. It's a power slider from Morrow. Actually didn't get him. He's still hurting from that first time.
You think he felt the pain expecting it? That's very odd. The 1-2. Strike 3. Now he feels pain as he goes down. Look. 3rd strikeout for Morrow.
Well, I've said it before, but every time the Yankees see this kid pitch, looks outstanding. I mean, this is a perfect fastball, good velocity, nice location, nothing in pain you can do with that.
Now Brett Gardner looks out at Morrow and sees a victim. He's the only pitcher that Brett Gardner's ever had 2 home runs against. One July 4th of 2010, September 2nd of 2011. Just misses a double there. Both of those home runs were at Yankee Stadium. Brett has 7 home runs on the season. Count 0-2. First career start against the Yankees when he was with Seattle, 7 2/3, just 1 hit, 1 run. Too bad. The 0-2. 1-2.
Seattle moved him around a little bit too, right? Rotation, bullpen.
And the pitch. High. 2-2.
You know, it is tempting when you watch him pitch, you know, mid-90s with the fastball, a really good slider. If you moved him to the bullpen, possibility maybe being a closer, his velocity jumps a little bit like it does sometimes when starters move to the pen.
What do you think is more valuable, John? Quality starter or a great closer?
You know what? If you have a quality starter, and he's got great stuff to be a really good starting pitcher in the big leagues, but you know we don't see him every time out. His ERA's over 5. I mean, you wonder if you put him to the bullpen, maybe as a closer, 1 inning, be dominant.
Swing and miss. He has struck out the last 3 Yankees and the last 4 outs he's recorded, all strikeouts.
He's starting to feel it a little bit now. That good fastball again, located well. A bunch of off-speed pitches early to Brett Gardner. Kind of slows him up a little bit, and then he's able to power the fastball by him.
Here's Eduardo Nunez. 1-0.
You know, it's just thinking about Papelbon when we're having this conversation about Morrow, starting pitcher, maybe going in the bullpen. Caught Papelbon my last spring training as a starting pitcher, 4 quality pitches. Obviously moved to the bullpen, has had a nice career.
But there's, you know, a variable there because they didn't think that Papelbon could stay healthy as a starter. But I think if they thought he could stay healthy with his stuff and all the pitches he throws, they probably would have kept him there. That one is hammered to left field. Thames. Oh, what a play! Thames took away an extra base hit. A full body dive and somehow came up with the ball and held on. Put a star next to that. On the dead run, sells out onto the warning track, out number 3. And by HP, everybody on. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. JP Arancibia leads off and takes a pitch outside from Garcia.
Well, what a play by Eric Thames, left fielder. Line drive with good carry. Full extension diving on the warning track. And one thing I think we're seeing, the ball is carrying this afternoon. We saw that with the Adam Lind home run. Look at the full extension there. What a play.
How angry would you be if you hit that ball, and how long would it take you to shake it off?
Angry or disappointed? I think disappointed more than angry.
But you wouldn't be angry. Really?
No, I'd be disappointed. Actually, I'd be pretty happy I hit a ball on the line for a change, but disappointed it wasn't a hit. I think if you're an infielder and an outfielder, it's going to chap you for a while because you have time to think about it. Being a catcher, I was lucky enough to get right back behind the plate.
Because you know that it's 10 years since he's retired. O'Neill's still thinking about some of those line drives that were caught. Swing and a miss on the Lincoln scoreboard, 1-0 Jays. So Aaron Sibia down on strikes. Mike McCoy lined out in the first inning. The 0-1 outside. Well, Tampa Bay is taking a 1-0 lead in the second inning over the Red Sox. Now it's 2-0 in the top of the second inning. John, I still contend that that win by Beckett is going to be able to have the Red Sox hold off the Rays. I thought that that win was huge. Even if they lose this game, it's still 2.
Well, I think that game was huge, but obviously if Boston loses today 2 games, believe me, you're feeling that a little bit. Today is a huge game.
Now, the Rays have 7 games left with the Yankees. And the Red Sox have 7 games left with the Orioles. Now, that seems, or the Red Sox have 7 games with the Orioles. That would seem to be in the Red Sox favor, but you see what the Orioles have been doing to people.
Yep.
They knocked off the Rays twice, and that's the American League wild card right now. And they also knocked off the Angels. So they've been a real pest. Swung on and missed as Mike McCoy goes down on strikes.
You know, I've been on some bad teams, especially with Tampa Bay. You look forward to playing those playoff teams coming down the stretch in September because you really have nothing else to play for except to be that spoiler. Baltimore doing a nice job of it.
I asked Joe Girardi today, do you have a rooting interest between Boston and Tampa Bay? Sometimes I ask questions knowing I have no chance to get an answer.
Right.
And I didn't get the answer. And he just said, we're just looking to clinch ourselves, just get in the playoffs. He said, if we do our job, we'll get it. It doesn't matter what the Red Sox or the Rays do.
Well, I'm sure that there are players on that team and the Yankee team who would have a preference on who they would like to face.
Of course, they're never going to say it, but they do have. I'm sure that Joe has a preference.
That Tampa Bay starting rotation is scary.
And they also called up this kid, Matt Moore, who's supposed to be one of the best young pitchers in baseball. And he's working out of the bullpen for hard-throwing left-hander.
Sounds a lot like David Price a few years ago.
A 1-2. Grounded to second. Nunez is right there. A nice easy inning for Freddie Garcia as he retires the Blue Jays in order. 1-2-3. What are we doing in the fourth? It's 1-0 Toronto. Quiz. Hey, in 1996, Pat Henkin won the American League Cy Young while pitching for the Blue Jays. Which Yankees finished second and third in the voting? Well, I know the guy who finished second should have won the Cy Young award, but I'm not going to tell you who it is because that would give away part of the answer. Robinson Cano takes a strike, count 0-1. You know what? I actually know the guy who finished third, too. That one is driven deep to left field. Thames back. He's on the track, and he makes the play in front of the wall. Thames doing a better job in left today than Adam Lowen did yesterday.
I mentioned earlier the ball really carrying here in the dome with the roof open this afternoon. I thought this had a chance, but it kind of sliced from right to left. Thames makes another nice play. Follow the flight of the baseball, slicing a little right from left. Cost Robinson Cano an extra base hit and a possible home run.
Alex Rodriguez takes up and in. He drove a ball to right center, run down by Bautista with a runner on 3rd and 2 outs in the first inning.
This looked really good yesterday in the first at bat, hitting a line drive to right field.
No ramifications whatsoever to playing yesterday. The thumb doesn't hurt. It has not reignited the pain or started any swelling again. And that's what the Yankees are looking for.
You know, and you got to believe Alex probably a fresh body, a lot fresher than the other Yankee players because he's had some time off, still traveling with the team.
Some chin music there from Morrow.
A little off-speed pitch, 86 miles an hour, was not the fastball. Arancibia setting up away. I don't know if that was a backup slider or a split that got away from him.
So off-speed chin music would be light music, not heavy metal. The 2-1, 3-1. Girardi said that Alex might not play tomorrow afternoon, the makeup game against the Twins at the stadium. And the guys that are off today will play tomorrow. Popped up, right field. Bautista makes the play for the second out.
I'll tell you, that is such a good pitch for a young pitcher right there. 3-1 little cut fastball that had Alex Rodriguez off the end of the bat. You're looking fastball and it just cuts away just a little bit. See the frustration. Sometimes a hitter gets himself out. Nice pitch by Morrow.
Here's Nick Swisher. He drove a ball to left field in the second inning. Run down by Eric Thames. Trying to tie the score right there with that swing, 0-1. Fly ball left field. A little bit of an easier chance for Thames. And Morrow has retired the Yankees the last 7 in a row. 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Pat Henkin won the Cy Young Award in 1996, pitching for the Blue Jays. Which Yankees finished second and third in the voting? I think it's Andy Pettitte and Mariano Rivera. Pitched to Bautista as a strike. It is Pettitte and Rivera. A lot of people thought Pettitte should have won it, and when you look back at Rivera's season as a setup man for Wetland, I don't know if people were able to put it into perspective. It was amazing how good he was. Either one of them could have won the Cy Young Award, but they did give it to Henkin, who had a great year as well. There was an interesting column in the New York Post today by Joel Sherman, where he wrote that Mariano Rivera could be the best baseball player that he's ever seen. It was complicated the way he went about it. You know, some of the guys have been stained by steroid allegations or stronger than that, more than allegations, and that takes them out of the running. And he said just in terms of what he's done and at the level and the consistency in which he's done it, he could be the best baseball player he's ever seen in the 40 years he's watched baseball. Did
Joel take into account the personality in the clubhouse as well?
No.
No, it was just strictly on field.
What he's visually seen as a baseball player. Popped up. Pena makes a catch for the first out.
You mentioned the high sky, a few pop-ups this afternoon. Fielders have made the plays flawlessly. Because I asked that question, Michael, because I think Mariano, with as good as he has been on the field, is probably better in the clubhouse. How he gets rid of those tough losses. Same guy every day and is all about the team. I haven't been around too many closers who care as much about winning and how the whole game is played as Mariano Rivera.
6:01 and counting.
There's a shot. You see that?
It said Michael Allen, Kim, but you know, they made the sign while Al was doing the games on the West Coast.
You know what? Maybe if they want Al to come up here to Toronto to do the games, they can get him up here if they want. It's a shot. I take that as a shot.
I don't think the person who made the sign is taking a shot. I think our director, John Moore, who called the shot, is taking a shot.
That's a good point. John Moore would never do that, would he?
Well, we're seeing that he might. I asked, I don't know if I asked, somebody asked. Somebody asked Joe Girardi today, would you use him today? Do you want to save him for getting the record-breaking save at home? He said, if there's a save opportunity, we'll use him today. Here's the 2-2 to Lynn. That one is driven deep to center field. Gardner back on the track at the wall. See ya! Another home run for Adam Lind, and it's 2-0 Toronto.
Adam Lind has had a very, very nice series here against the New York Yankees, and he's finishing up strong. 2 at-bats today against Freddie Garcia, and this will be his second home run of the afternoon. Again, out over the plate. Look at how high Brett Gardner gets here, trying to rob him of a home run. Can't do it. 2-0 lead for the Blue Jays.
Brett landed right in the lens of that Nikon camera. He did get up there. And so did this ball. Ground ball up the middle and a base hit for Encarnacion. 7th career multi-home run game for Adam Lind. Right on the shutter and then landing in the lens. Adam Lind feels good. 2 at-bats, 2 home runs. 26 on the year. Here's Kelly Johnson. Johnson walked in the second. You know, speaking about Mariano, John, you had the unique perspective when you weren't starting for the Yankees. You were usually out in the bullpen. Was he a teacher out there, or did he keep to himself? Did he teach the other pitchers?
He would pick his spot wherever he would sit, and you would see all the other pitchers kind of gravitate towards him, and especially the young guys. And I remember Scott Proctor, who was back with the Yankees, but he was a young pitcher coming up, always kind of gravitate towards Mariano and try to learn something. But I was always, I'm not shocked isn't the right word, but the middle of the 5th, we would take the golf cart down to the bullpen every game that I wasn't playing. And it always struck me that Mariano would be talking about things that happened earlier in the game. Like, why didn't this guy do that? Or, you know, it was good to see this guy do that. And I'd never been around a closer who really paid as much attention to the whole game from first inning all the way through as Mariano did. A lot of the closers would kind of have their own program, come down to the bullpen in the 7th inning, and could care less what happened the first 7 innings.
2-1, 3-1. That's why I think he's so uncomfortable with all the attention he's receiving for the 600th and 601st, because he said, I'm about winning. He said, all I care about is the team winning. I don't care about if I got a save or not. And I believe him.
You hear that all the time, and sometimes you don't believe it.
Right.
But with Mariano, I definitely believe it.
Swing and a miss.
I mentioned earlier about Freddie Garcia, veteran pitcher. Can he make some adjustments during the game? His split finger has gotten better in the 3rd and the 4th inning. Adam Lind has figured him out, but he's getting a lot more swings and misses on that pitch than he had earlier in the ballgame.
Runner goes, 3-2, is grounded to second. Nunez to Chavez for the second out. As Encarnacion moves to 7. John, that sounds like fun, though, the golf cart ride with Mo. I mean, that must have been pretty special. Was it a daily occurrence when you didn't start?
It was. In the old stadium, the middle of the fifth, I would watch the fifth inning, watch our guys, or watch a pitcher in the top of the fifth inning from our dugout at the old Yankee Stadium. Then I would head up to the clubhouse. Golf cart would be waiting. Mariano would come out of the clubhouse, and we'd take the golf cart underneath the stadium out to the bullpen.
Is that something that evolved, or was it from the first day you got there that you would drive out with them?
It just so happened, I think we hooked up early on, and it just became an everyday occurrence. I like to watch a lot of the game from the dugout early on and then spend the last 4 innings out in the bullpen warming guys up, trying to get loose. If there was a possibility I would go in the game. But the people underneath the stadium watching as Mariano drove by in the golf cart was outstanding, how he interacted with everybody. Like traveling with a rock star, just along for the ride.
Strike. And fans can see that trip to the bullpen when he's on the road, like at Fenway. You have to walk across the field, and he goes in the middle of the fifth. Swing, miss. Count 1-2 on Brett Laurie.
I was just thinking, I was lucky enough to catch both guys who are sitting at 601 right now. Trevor Hoffman retired, Mariano's still playing. But they both had their routines during the beginning of the game, and they head down to the bullpen.
Count 2-2.
Trevor also one of those guys, Michael. He cared more about the bullpen dynamic than the whole team. You know what I'm saying? Like, he really took a lot of pride in the whole bullpen pitching well and making sure everybody felt part of it. Mariano more the whole team concept.
2-2. Swing and a miss, and Laurie strikes out for the second time. But 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 1 left. Adam Lynn, it's been all about him in the second inning. He connects for a home run, and then this inning he connects for another home run. Both of those put together give the run on a 2-0 lead. We go to the 5th inning. It's 2-0 Toronto as Eric Chavez leads off. Now, I don't know if you've ever been in the studio with Bob on a Sunday in September. I'm just wondering, Bob and Jack, do they have like 8 TVs set up? They have all the football games and the Yankee game as well. What do you think's going on there?
I know there are not 8 TVs there.
Okay.
I know there are at least 2.
Grounded to second. Johnson.
I would have to believe, obviously, one game is a Yankee game that they're watching.
That's
Jack
must.
Curry breaking it all down. But I got to believe a Jet game is on there.
You think so?
I do.
My people are telling me that there's an overabundance of chicken wings in the studio today. So they made a little party of it. We'll find out in the postgame. Here's Russell Martin, pitch outside. Strike, 1-1.
Studio update. The wings are all gone.
Really?
Bob Lorenz said already they're finished.
Wow. They devoured those like Wolverines.
This is poor planning. I mean, you got to order enough wings to keep you going through the 4 o'clock game, right?
Also, the high roller like Lorenz should go spring for more chicken.
It's like the major league veteran who goes down on a minor league rehab.
Right. You buy everybody the
splurge.
spread. Right.
Find out in the postgame.
One, two. I defy Bob. How about this? I defy Bob. He always gives us an update in the 7th inning. I want him to come on, give the update with wing sauce on his mouth. That would show me something.
Well, you know what? In today's day and age, he doesn't even have to leave the studio. You make a phone call,
right.
You give him your credit card number, and you order some wings.
The 1-2 swung on and missed. Martin down on strikes.
Well, some frustration for Russell Martin. Again, it's that power fastball. He's scuffling a little bit at the plate. Had that problem with the right thumb. Things have been a little bit slow offensively since for Russell Martin.
It really does tell you one thing. The more baseball you watch, I mean, this guy's got really good stuff. And he's 9-11 with a 5.23. It's all about consistency, repeating the delivery, and doing it every single time. But, boy, the potential is there for him to be great every time out.
Well, I think the Yankees have seen enough. I mean, I mentioned all the strikeouts or number of innings pitched against the Yankees. And he just steps up his game.
Dickerson fouls it away. The 0-2. Boy, what an impressive inning for Brandon Morrow as Dickerson strikes out for the second time. The end of 4.5. We're halfway through. Toronto Blue Jays up by 2. Two 2-0 Toronto in this rubber game of a 3-game set. And Colby Rasmus leads off against Freddie Garcia. Pitch outside. 1-0. Driven to center field. Giving chase is Gardner. Makes the play. What a good jump. That'll bring up JP Arancibia. Pitch outside.
See those numbers for Arancibia, pretty impressive with the power. 23 home runs, 76 RBIs, batting average a little bit low. Blue Jays excited about his future.
Here's the 1-2. In the dirt, 2-2. Birthday wishes have to go out to John Purcell, who's directing the pre- and post-game show today. So he's working on his birthday, putting in a good effort. So happy birthday to JP. And here's JP Arancibia taking outside. And a walk. Let's look at tomorrow's starting pitchers, brought to you by Verizon Fios. Visit us online at verizon.com/getFios and get the best deals on Fios. Scott Diamond is going to start for the Twins, 1-4, 3.94. A.J. Burnett for the Yankees, 10-11 with a 5.20. Our coverage begins at 12:30 p.m. with the pregame. First pitch right around 1:07. You think the Twins are elated to be flying into New York for one day in the middle of their homestand?
I'm sure they're excited about it. Mentioned teams that are out of contention, looking forward to being a spoiler. I don't know if Minnesota's that excited about coming in and playing that role.
That obviously is a makeup from a previous rainout.
Don't know a whole lot about Scott Diamond.
Neither do I.
It's a big league name.
Maybe get on the early bus tomorrow, you find out.
Challenge?
No. Bunted. Nice play by Garcia, but a bad throw. And it gets past everybody. So McCoy reaches on the bunt, and then there's an E1 as the throw got past first base.
McCoy has been in a lot of these situations in this series. A good bunt. Alex Rodriguez charging. Garcia cuts in front of him, and when he goes down with that low three-quarter arm angle off his back foot, throw gets away from Eric Chavez. Arancibia will advance all the way to third. Right about here, you start thinking this might not be the best idea.
Freddie Garcia is a very big guy, tall, so that's a lot of body that he's trying to get under control. And that was a very, very dangerous play for Chavez, who could have gotten hurt as he reached into the base runner. So first and third with one out. And here's Eric Thames. Thames grounded back to the mound and grounded to second. So he's 0 for 2. I think he's going to take another ground ball. Foul back.
"91 pitches to this point for Freddie Garcia.
Aaron Laffey, who got the win yesterday, and the Yankees' sparkling bullpen effort, just outstanding. 5 innings of no hit, no run, 1 walk baseball. The 0-1. That one's driven to center field and deep. Going back Gardner. Still back. And he'll make the play on the warning track and bang into the wall. Arancibia tags, so scores. McCoy goes back to first. It's 3-0 on the sac fly by Thames.
Brett Gardner doing a nice job in center field. Curtis Granderson the day off, so Brett slides back to center field. Off-speed pitch, and it just rolled up in the zone. Thames does a nice job drilling it to center field. Brett Gardner covering a lot of ground right up against the wall.
That'll bring up Bautista, who was 0 for 2 against Garcia. Pitch outside. Bautista has 122 walks, and that's the most in the American League since way back in 2003, when none other than Jason Giambi walked 129 times for the Yankees. Hard line drive single to left field. Dickerson will get the ball in.
Bautista, who's 0 for 2 coming into this at bat, hits an absolute rocket from left field. His 42 home runs. The Yankees just happy this stays in the park. Freddie Garcia challenged him with a fastball. Might not want to challenge this man again. He's pretty good afternoon.
Well, you would assume that you have Laffey warming up to pitch to Lynn. And here comes Joe Girardi, and that assumption would be correct. So Lynn has gone deep twice against Garcia. And with 2 runners on and the Yankees already down 3-0, Girardi didn't want to risk 3 times. So he will take out Garcia. Subpar start for him. An easy one, well, at least the premise. Who do you think should win the National League Cy Young Award? You've been voting at 58772, and here is how you voted. Close vote, but 35% say it should be Halladay, 23% Kershaw, 21% Kennedy. Kimbrel gets no love, and Cliff Lee 14%. I don't think you're going to get a real big argument on any of those 5, but we'll find out soon enough. Joe Girardi makes the call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T, and he brings on Aaron Laffey with 2 outs, runners on first and second, and Adam Lind at the plate.
You see the numbers for Laffey. I'm trying to figure out what is going on right here. Joe Girardi went out to talk to Dan Iasonia, the home plate umpire, who then went into the Toronto Blue Jay dugout. Not quite sure what's going on. A few moments ago.
Ball's inside. He's had a pretty good series against the Yankees. 6 for 11. The 2 home runs today. 5 runs batted in. Both of his home runs today solo shots.
Nice at bat against CC Sabathia, going the other way with the bases loaded.
Luis Ayala's up in the Yankee bullpen. So if they lose Lind, then we could see Ayala. Strike on the outside corner. Garcia's line not complete. The 2 runners on base, his responsibility. 3 shaky outings in a row now for Freddie Garcia. Laffey misses outside. Now 3-2. Lind is yet to take the bat off his shoulder.
And Lind, a pretty good hitter against lefties too. 258 with 3 home runs, respectable. Aaron Laffey can keep dotting that corner outside and down. Take your chances.
Runners will go. 3-2 and 2 outs. And he missed way too far to even tempt Lind. So the bases are loaded. And that's it. Laffey came on to get Lind. He couldn't get the job done. Now it's Ayala against Encarnacion with the bases loaded. Stay right here. You could purchase the best available seats for the 2012 regular season and also secure the opportunity to purchase the same seats for 2011 postseason. So come join us for the chase for 28th. For more information, visit Yankees.com or call 212-YANKEES. So Luis Ayala will come on to face Edwin Encarnacion. Big spot in this game if the Yankees want to be able to come back. They're down 3-0. But the Jays have the bases loaded. Ayala's done the job much more than he hasn't. 1.79 ERA, 48 hits, and 50 in the 3rd innings.
When he hits in the first game of this series, in a big spot right here, bases loaded. Encarnacion swinging a pretty good bat lately.
So McCoy at 3rd, Bautista at 2nd, and Lind is at 1st. Encarnacion at the plate. He's walked and singled. Strike inside corner. Missed inside.
We've seen from Ayala all year long, he's not afraid to come in out of the bullpen throwing strikes. He attacks the hitters. And a nice year.
Missed outside. 2-1. 3-0 Tampa Bay, top of the 4th inning at Fenway. Shields against Wakefield. Final game of the 4-game set. Tampa Bay's taking the first 2 of 3. Oh, I said Shields. I'm sorry. It's David Price. We're going to see Shields at the stadium this week. Shields is the pitcher who matched up against Beckett. Didn't pitch that badly, but a 4-3 loss, I believe. High fly ball. Right center. Gardner there and makes the play. So Ayala comes on and gets the job done. 1 run on 2 hits, and the bases are left loaded. Let's go to the 6th. Enter the stretch run of the season and talks extensively about Mariano Rivera. Then Curtis Granderson teaches the art of the at-bat on Yankees on Deck. Presented by Blimpie. It's all coming up after the postgame, and it's only on Yes. Both umpires talking to the uniformed security guards on the field between innings. And those are police officers from Toronto. And I think that there might be an issue out in the Yankee bullpen, because they keep looking out there, and all the players are underneath the shed rather than on that bench out there, which is out in the open. And now there are police in the bullpen. And we had heard over the last couple of days that it was getting really nasty out there with the fans. So that's probably what Girardi was talking about earlier.
You know, and I was shocked to hear that, because I've sat on that bench plenty of games and really never had any problem with the fans here in Toronto.
Who's that one brave soul on the bench?
David Robertson.
Not somebody else. Robertson. Yeah, just Robertson. There's a strike to Pena.
You know, when you hang out in bullpens, you're used to getting heckled and yelled at, and you know, actually some fans come up with some pretty good lines. I wonder if maybe there are some things being thrown where it actually gets dangerous.
I've heard some of the tough ones in Seattle because the fans are right there. Boston because they're right on top of you. Which other ones are?
Chicago White Sox.
Yeah.
Well, you know, in Chicago by the bullpen they have that bar. It's like underneath the stadium. There's a full sports bar down there.
Tapped slowly, grabbed there by Morrow. Off balance throw, and they get Pena for the first out. Good play by Morrow.
Nice athletic play by Morrow coming off the mound. Pena just slaps at it, hoping for an infield single, and if it got by Morrow, he might have had a chance, but a nice play with the grab and the spin. Plants on his back foot.
That'll bring up Brett Gardner. Gardner's 0 for 2. Grounded to short and struck out. Blue Jays play him in at the corners. Pitch outside. Yankees have just 2 hits in this game. An infield single by Nunez and an infield single by Russell Martin. So they have not really struck the ball hard for their hits. They've had a couple of well-hit balls that were run down by Eric Thames, particularly Eduardo Nunez is in third. There's a foul ball on the bunt attempt.
Just thinking what a good job Dan Iasonia has done behind the plate. I mean, very authoritative. You had mentioned with his ball strike calls, but even right there with Brett Gardner right on top of it, calling a foul ball. And here in the 6th inning, we really have not talked about any pitches that we thought should have been strikes or balls.
Now 4-0 Tampa Bay over Boston. So if that score holds up, they go into the final week and a half of the season, 2 games behind the Red Sox for the wild card. With 10 games left and 7 of them against the New York Yankees.
I was just thinking, if you're Tampa Bay, you're saying, all right, we got a chance now.
Popped up, shallow left. Thames makes the play 2 away.
And the way their year has gone, that's all they could ask for, to be down by 2 with a week and a half left.
Pretty amazing run. They were 9 back at the start of September. The Red Sox are having a finish to their season like they had a beginning to their season. They started 2-10.
Well, Tampa got off to a terrible start too, right?
Yeah. Now they really turned it on. A lot of people are questioning. They waited a long time to call up Brandon Jennings, and he's been unbelievable since they brought him up. Desmond Jennings, and he has been great. He was their top position prospect. But you know, they all play the game about arbitration and 2+ and things like that. You know, maybe if you call him up earlier, you're 2 ahead rather than 2 back.
You can look at so many different things, and I'm sure the Red Sox and the Rays probably looking at the first week or week and a half of the season saying we just could have played 500 baseball, be in a better position.
In that game at Fenway, David Price was drilled in the upper right chest near the collarbone with a line drive in the 3rd. There was a long delay, but he stayed in the game. There's a strike to Nunez. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, the pitch. Grounded and through for a base hit. So Nunez picks up his 2nd hit of the afternoon. He's going for 2. And he's out. He rounded first. Then he knew they were going to throw behind him and then took off for 2nd. John, what could he have been thinking there?
Well, it's not the greatest base running play. Yankees trailing by 3 with 2 outs there. See the throw behind. He just kept going. Out at 2nd.
And the 6th inning, and we're trying to figure out what he was thinking. Was he looking, John, to have them throw behind him?
You know what? I think this might have been something in the advance report that Bautista likes to throw behind runners when they round first base, because Nunez did not hesitate, saw the play in front of him. Unfortunately for him, the Blue Jays executed perfectly. You wonder if maybe they talked about that in a meeting before the series. Pay attention, because Bautista might throw. See, Nunez sees him throw behind him. It takes off immediately. Problem is Encarnacion delivers a strike to 2nd.
Kelly Johnson takes outside, so 1-1 against Ayala as we go to the bottom of the 6th.
And what you hate about that, obviously in a 3-0 game, the Yankees have not had a lot of offense. And Robinson Cano, your designated hitter, would be coming up after Nunez. A chance to do some damage. Didn't happen.
And the 2-1. 2-2. Crowd of 34,657 here at Rogers Center. This is Fan Appreciation Day. I think they would have appreciated another 16,000 fans. Count 3-2. There was a stretch of about 3-4 years that there was never an empty seat, no matter who the opponent was. This place was jammed. They drew 4 million people a year. But this is the one place for some reason where the strike really hurt him, as Johnson swings and misses. After the World Series was canceled in '94, the fans did not come back in the same way that they had previous. So 1 down. That's going to bring up Brett Laurie. Nothing. Toronto leads New York. And a strike.
Laurie happy to see Freddie Garcia out of there. He had problems with that split finger fastball, a couple of strikeouts.
Hit sharply right at Pena for the 2nd out. Yankees have held Laurie somewhat in check, 2 for 11 in this series. Time for the game summary brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. 3-5-0, beating 0-3-1. Lind, 2 solo home runs. Morrow has been very good. 6 innings, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Garcia not that good for the 3rd straight game, 4 2/3 with 5 hits, and he allowed all 3 runs. Here's Colby Rasmus. Pitches outside. The 1-0. Missed inside, 2-0. Rasmus fouled out to A-Rod and then flied out to center. Now we are told that the phone lines to the bullpen are out. So they're using a police walkie-talkie as a communication between the Yankee dugout and the Yankee bullpen. So that explains all that was going on. And I guess the fans are not unruly today out there. And they're going to talk on that walkie-talkie soon as we go to the 7th. Blue Jays lead the Yankees 3-0.
Trust at GE Capital. We prove that every day. It's an unusual partner play today. The communication between the bullpen and the bench is Robinson Cano. It's a line drive to right field. Jose Bautista, a nice running catch. Mike Harkey in the bullpen. Larry Rothschild in the dugout. Your partner play for this afternoon. Brandon Morrow gets a first out in the 7th inning. Yankees have not had a lot to smile about today. Larry Rothschild enjoying the walkie-talkie communication. Cadillac scoreboard. The Yankees trailing 3-0 here in Toronto.
And the pitch to A-Rod is a strike.
Robinson Cano hit an absolute bullet to right field. Brandon Morrow, who has had a tough time with his pitch count this year, pretty respectable 90th pitch coming up, 1 out in the 7th.
High fly ball. Rasmus is there, 2-0. Scott Proctor up for the Yankees. Yankees have been able to do very little against Morrow, who has just 90 pitches with 2 outs here in the 7th. There's a strike. Consistently throwing strikes.
You know what? He's had it all going on. I mean, dropping the breaking ball in for strike 1, the good fastball, locating it.
There's a strike. Strike 2.
The Yankees should not be surprised. This is the Brandon Morrow they seem to see every time out. Nick Swisher did not look happy with that call. Really the first hitter or pitcher we've seen complain about Dan Iasoni's strike zone. Pretty consistent.
And the 0-2. And the bat flies out of the hand of Swisher.
Nick did that yesterday. Same type of swing yesterday for Nick Swisher. Loses the handle.
So he didn't like the previous call. And then Iasonia gets bumped. The 0-2. Swing. Bounce it. Aaron Sibia could not hold on.
It's a tough combination when you got a guy throwing 95 and then he drops a slider down and in. A good job by Nick just to foul it off. See, it just hits the dirt. Sibia not happy.
And the 1-2. Foul ball. This chiropractic telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Brendan Morrow looking to pick up his 10th win. He's 9-11. The 1-2. Still 1-2. Well, that was not a foul ball. It's 2-2. It just got past Aaron Sibia.
If you're wondering about pitch counts, take a look at this last slider down and in. Morrow has thrown 116 pitches in a ball game, so he's got plenty of room to go.
A weak wave right through as Nick Swisher strikes out. And that will do it here in the 7th. Yankees go down in order at the end of 6.5. 7th inning stretch time in Toronto. 3-0 Jays. Go to the bottom of the 7th inning. No sauce at all from the wings, he said, because the bones were devoured. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Wow. Good for him. Good stuff. Scott Proctor will tag one for the Yankees as he tries to hold it at 3-0. That's between the Braves and the Yanks. Fouled away by Aaron Sibia. Cadillac scoreboard 3-0 Toronto. Aaron Sibia struck out, walked, and scored. Moving out to left field. Giving chase as Dickerson is going to be over his head and up against the scoreboard. And Aaron Sibia with a double.
Well, Aaron Sibia has plenty of power. Dickerson kind of a strange route with this fly ball. Aaron Sibia hits it well to the gap. Well, Chris thought it was hit that well. It just kept carrying. I mentioned early on it looked like fly balls were going to have some carry on it this afternoon. Leadoff double.
Yankees looking for the bunt, and they get it. They'll take the out at first. So the sacrifice is successful, 2-3.
McCoy has been a bunting machine this whole series. A little safety squeeze yesterday. Bunt in the 5th inning. Now a sac bunt here in the 7th. Get a good look at the bat head out in front of home plate. Nicely done.
Infield is in for Eric Thames. Last time he had a runner at third, he had a long fly ball to center field for a sac fly. Picked up his 33rd ribby. Right in on the hands, and the count 1-1.
Yeah, I love it from Scott Proctor right there with the infield in. You really want to make sure you get a ground ball or a strikeout, and the way you do that is try to jam a hitter. Good fastball in on the hands. Not a whole lot Thames can do with it.
Count now 1-2. The shortstop, Pena, is probably the deepest of all 4 infielders. I'd say he's about halfway. Pitch inside.
Proctor proud of his fastball, 4 in a row. Well, right at Thames. You wonder here if he's got him set up for a breaking ball in the dirt, trusting Russell Martin to block it.
Trusted him right there.
But it's such a luxury if you're a pitcher. You know you can really bang your breaking ball down in the dirt, trusting Russell Martin to block it with a runner at third. 4 fastballs in a row, then a curveball down and in. That is just perfect. Brian Butterfield, third base coach, got to be impressed with that, huh, Michael?
I still don't think he thinks he's better than you, though. He said you're the best ever.
I don't know if you could do it any better than Russell Martin.
3-2. Ooh, wow. Knocked his own helmet off, but at least he's smiling about it.
Well, I'm glad he's smiling. Again, they go to the fastball up and in, trying to get the strikeout or jam, pop up, or ground ball. Straight up into the bill of the helmet.
We saw that yesterday, too. Not the same way. It was a foul ball off the dirt.
Off the dirt, yeah.
Scary. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
I don't think I have. And, you know, he smiled right away, which made you feel pretty good about it. But it looked like it got him. Part of the forehead.
This was yesterday with Curtis Granderson. Looks like Thames is going to lead the game.
They don't mess around now with the head injuries.
No way that he wants to leave that possible ribby at third, but he's coming out of the game. Tomorrow afternoon, the Yankees are back in the Bronx, where they host the Twins for a quick one-game makeup date in the stadium from a rainout in April. Coverage starts at 12:30 with the Tri-State Ford pregame. Then John Flaherty and I are in the booth with the callers, the Twins and the Yankees. And it all starts tomorrow at 12:30, only on Yes. So it is David Cooper who's going to take over this at bat. Is there a different approach now? A guy called off the bench, John?
Usually you say pinch hitters are looking for that first pitch fastball, but I'm sure Cooper not prepared for this at bat.
So that's a walk. I believe Thames gets the walk there because he had the 3 balls on the count.
Well, isn't it, if Cooper got a base hit, it would be his base hit, right? If he struck out or makes an out, I wonder if he gets the walk. Nice game. It's a game played right there. 1 pitch, ball 4. Take it to the clubhouse.
Dwayne Wise pinch runs. Blocked there by Russell Martin. Dwayne Wise will move to second. Aaron Sivia stays put at third.
Well, we'll see how the Yankees play this now. 2-0 on Bautista. First base is now open because of this breaking ball blocked, but a little bit to the right. Wise able to advance. Looks like they're going to walk Bautista. Face Adam Lind coming up behind him, who's had a nice afternoon. A couple of home runs.
After keeping score at home, Cooper gets that walk. It does not go to Thames, despite the fact that Thames worked at the 3-2. So Cooper gets the walk. And now Joe Girardi walks out to the bullpen. or signals there. Wants to bring on the lefty to face Adam Lind with the bases loaded. Stay here. Today's game, including the latest scores and standings from around baseball. Plus, Joe Girardi's post-game comments, and Kim Jones will chat with the players in the clubhouse. It's all later on the post-game. It's only on Yes. Well, Joe Girardi goes to Raul Valdez to face the left-hander Lind. Does not go to Boone Logan.
Making his Yankee debut, and you see the numbers with St. Louis. 7 games, 3.38 ERA, and a tough spot to make your Yankee debut. Bases loaded, facing Adam Lind. Already has 2 home runs on the afternoon. Joe Girardi throwing him right into the fire. Well, in the second inning, Adam Lind looks like he got a split out over the plate. I didn't think he hit it that well. It just kept carrying. First home run, and then the 4th inning, almost the same pitch. Dead center. He's also mixed in a walk. Had a nice afternoon.
So big spot right here with the bases loaded. Could break this open. Yankees trail 3-0. You've got Aaron Sibby at third. Wise at second. Bautista is at first. Swing and a miss. And George Contos warms for the Yankees. You might say, well, why is Joe going with these guys? The Yankees want to win this game. Well, first of all, Boston's trying to catch up. Tampa Bay leads 5-2. You see the lineup that Girardi ran out there. He's not going to blow out his main guys in the bullpen when they don't have a day off the rest of the way. So he's going to see what he has with Valdez, because Boone Logan has not pitched well of late. And also keep his guys fresh. Pitches high.
Nice play by Russell Martin right there. And sure, not a lot of reps with Valdez on what type of stuff he has making his debut. It's underneath the fastball. Nice play by the catcher. Valdez has thrown a couple of good sliders to Adam Lind. We'll see if he has one to finish him off. And with the fastball.
One-two count on Lind. Lind 2 for 2 with a walk. Each hit a home run today. A 1-2. Strike 3. Lind down looking. And a good job by Valdez. And the Yankees remain on the field with 2 down and Encarnacion coming up.
Valdez goes with the fastball. Maybe it's just off the plate. I'm up here expecting another slider, and he sneaks a fastball in the outside corner, gets a call from Dan Iasona.
So now they'll let Valdez face Encarnacion with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Count 1-0. Bottom of the 7th, 3-0 Toronto. Strike. Miss. 1-2.
delivery, sneaky fastball, good slider.
Valdez in his first Yankee appearance. And the 1-2. Grounded to A-Rod. He'll go to third, and that will do it. And Valdez comes on and does a great job. No runs a hit, and the bases are left loaded. We'll go to the 8th. 3-0 Jays. Your vote to 58772 or vote online at yesnetwork.com. Today's candidates are just two: Brandon Morrow or Adam Lynn. Vote now, make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. A Yankee really has to step up over the next 2 innings in order to get into that voting. Morrow is still out on the mound. He'll face Chavez, Martin, and Dickerson. The Yankees have managed just 3 hits against him. Only 1 has gone to the outfield. High fly ball just to the right of dead center. And Rasmus supposed to away for the first out. Hyundai scoreboard shows the Jays up 3-0. Now the Jays are prone to blow leads. Yesterday they blew their 25th save opportunity of the season. Now they also blew 2 in 1 game at Tampa Bay on August 4th. So they can do this. Not that way, though. Tapped right back to Morrow. 2 away.
Is that 2 pitches, 2 outs?
Yep.
I mentioned earlier in our G pitcher scouting report, Morrow has struggled with the efficiency of his pitches, averaging 17.6 per inning. Not this afternoon. 9 in the 4th, 10 in the 5th, 14th in the 6th, and 11th in the 7th. And 2 in the 8th inning.
100 pitches for Morrow, 71 strikes and 17 first pitch strikes. You can see how economical he's been. The most pitches that he threw was in the 1st inning. And here's Chris Dickerson, 2 pitches, 2 outs. And he smartly takes 0-1. Dickerson has struck out twice against Morrow. Throwing nothing but strikes. 4 pitches, 4 strikes. And the 0-2. And Morrow winds, kicks, and deals. Up the middle. And McCoy grabs, but doesn't have a play. So another infield single because of the good play by McCoy. And that's going to bring up Ramiro Pena.
Great play by McCoy just to get to this ball. 2 hops off the turf, picks up a little speed. Yes, Mo, we get a good look at his extension. Another infield hit for the Yankees.
I got a question to ask you, John.
I hope I can answer it.
They're down 3-0. It's the 8th inning. You've got a load of all-stars on the bench. Why wouldn't you pinch hit for Ramiro Pena? He's 0 for 2 against Morrow. It doesn't make sense.
It's a great question, and then the only answer that I can think is Joe Girardi is being diligent, saying, I'm going to give my guys a day off today. One swing of the bat, you're right back in this ballgame.
I don't think that would be an arduous day if you sent somebody up to pinch hit for him and then had somebody else play defense.
Another foul ball off his leg. He hasn't had a whole lot of success at the plate and has beaten himself up off the right knee.
It's almost like, you know what, we don't have to win this game. I mean, if you're not sending somebody up here. And the count 0-2.
You have plenty of possibilities with power on that bench, right?
You got Teixeira, you got Granderson, you've got Jeter if you want to go for the single. Odd. You got Posada. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Makes you wonder even more. No runs, a hit. No errors, and one man left on base. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's 3-0 Jays. Yankees, and Raul Valdez will stay out there after pitching so well with the bases loaded in the 7th. And he'll face Kelly Johnson, Brett Lawrie, and Colby Rasmus here on the bottom of the 8th inning. Grounded to second. Backhanded by Nunez. One away. Pitch to Lawrie. Outside. Lawrie 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a line drive to the shortstop Pena. Frank Francisco warming. Count 2-1. Hot shot into center field. That's a base hit.
Lawrie had a tough time with Freddie Garcia. Hit a line drive his last at bat to shortstop, and then a nice swing here. Like a slider, just drilled it right back up the middle.
That'll bring up Colby Rasmus. Count 1-0. (6-2) Tampa Bay leads Boston. Bottom of the 5th. Count 1-1.
I'm sure these are the at-bats that Joe Girardi, Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, can be paying attention to with Valdez. Left on left. Good job with Adam Lynn, striking him out with the bases loaded. Second opportunity here with Rasmus.
1-2. Strike 3. Solid pitching by Raul Valdez against the lefties. Joe Girardi is going to mix and match.
He does a good job dotting some fastballs away, and then he comes back with a slider. Wasn't that great of a pitch, but good enough for strike 3.
Oh, JP Arancibia due up. They're going to go to the bullpen. So Girardi will bring on the right-hander to keep it right here at 3-0. Nothing, and George Cantos will come on and face JP Arancibia. So Cantos is the 6th Yankee pitcher. He's pitched in 1 game, 1 1/3 innings, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts. Garcia started, then Laffey, Ayala, Proctor, Valdez, and now George Cantos.
And look at his numbers from AAA. 91 strikeouts in 89 innings, so just a little bit over a strikeout an inning. Get a second opportunity here with the Yankees in September.
So with a runner on first base, it'll be Cantos against Arancibia. Runner goes. Throw to second. Got him. Good throw by Russell Martin. Boy, he's been doing some job. So Contos doesn't even have to retire a batter. He gets help from Martin. Yankees have a last chance coming up in ninth. Stay tuned. Zoom. Well, the Yankees are happy that Brandon Morrow's out of the game, but now they have to face Frank Francisco, who's going to try to close this out. It's a save situation with the Blue Jays up 3-0. The numbers on Francisco. He has 15 saves, a 3.78 ERA, 50 strikeouts in 47 2/3 innings, and a hit per inning. Top of the order for the Yankees. Gardner will lead off. And there's a strike.
Good news for the Yankees. They get Morrow out of there. Bad news, they face Francisco, who's been hot over his last 22 games. An ERA of 1.54.
Count 1-1. The 1-1 as Gardner sets. Francisco deals. 1-2.
Brett Gardner behind in the count 1-2, and you start thinking about setting yourself up here in the ninth inning with Robinson Cano batting third, Alex Rodriguez fourth. Give those guys a chance with a few men on.
Shattered bat.
Take a look from the side. It looked like a split or a backdoor slider, and Brett just spoils it. Shatters his bat in the process.
Gardner 0 for 3. 5 for 29 on this 10-game road trip. And the 1-2. Looped out towards short. McCoy makes the play. One away. Well, it's been tough to get on base for the Yankees. Right now they're just 3 over the limit through 8 1/3. Then an infield single by Nunez. Cano walked, double steal. Cano was thrown out. That was in the first inning. Infield single by Martin. A single to right by Nunez. He was thrown out as he rounded first too far by Bautista. They got him at second. And then Dickerson with an infield single to short. So, boy, they've really been shut down offensively. Down 1-1. With his 2 for 3 today, Nunez 6 for his last 44. Maybe he finishes strong as he heads into the playoffs. 1-2. Into left center field. That is going to be a base hit. It splits the outfielders and it goes to the wall. A 3-hit day for Eduardo Nunez, and would have had 4 if not for a great diving play by Eric Thames in left in the 3rd inning.
Big afternoon for Nunez. Francisco comes back with another fastball. This time it leaks back over the plate. Nunez drills it to the gap. Left center field, one of the bright spots this afternoon for the Yankees offensively.
So here's Cano. Robinson walked in the first, then flied out to left and flied out to right. There's a strike.
Robinson, good numbers against Francisco, 3 for 7. The Yankees are thinking just get another base runner, give Alex Rodriguez an opportunity to tie it up with one swing. Nick Swisher behind him. Seen the power fastball. This looks like a good split down and away. Robinson swings right over the top. Pitch.
Nunez leads off second. Foul back. The Yankees' second base runner in scoring position and the first since the first inning. Francisco, a long look into Aaron Sibia. And the 0-2. High fly ball, right field. And Rasmus cuts in front of Bautista for the second out. Bautista was calling it all the way, but the center fielder does take precedence over all the other runs, so he called. And they just avoided a collision.
Lack of communication, maybe. Haven't played a whole lot together. Rasmus coming over from the Cardinals. Blue Jays get away with one there.
John Farrell worries about what might have been. So the Blue Jays are one away from taking this series. And here is Alex Rodriguez, who is 0 for 3. 2 fly balls to right and a fly ball to center. Yankees' last chance here in the 9th inning. Swing and miss. 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
Francisco, the luxury now. Home run would only be a 3-2 ball game. He can come right at Alex Rodriguez. Don't have to worry about one mistake being a tie ball game. Alex 3 for 11 with 1 home run off of Francisco in his career.
The 0-1. Now the Yankees down to their final strike in this game. And the final strike of this long 4-city road trip. Well, they've had 4 walk-off wins against them. After the game, they head home. They'd like to head home with a victory. Right now, they're down 3-0. Runner at second, 2 outs, and an 0-2 count on the cleanup hitter, Alex Rodriguez. 1-2. Derek Jeter, a spectator today, as Jeter, Granderson, and Teixeira given the day off. Well, conference between Aaron Sibia and Francisco. Laurie deep at third and fairly close to the line. And the 1-2. Strike 3. Ball game over. road trip over, and the Yankees lose this one 3-0. In the ninth, no runs, a hit, no errors, and one man left on base. A brilliant pitching performance by Brandon Morrow, and Frank Francisco comes on to get the save in the ninth inning. Stick around for the postgame show to find out who's today's Chevy player of the game. 2 home runs for that man, Adam Lind, and that was pretty much all the Blue Jays needed. We'll be back to wrap things up.